Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshuhu Shrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirate Ya Upanishadsu Dharmaha Te Mayi Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, we are entering into 8th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. So, how many chapters Chandogya Upanishad has? 8 chapters. That means this is the last chapter. Normally, first 5 chapters, 7th and 8th chapters are not generally, frequently, everywhere studied or taught. They are taught, except for few students in here and there, but mostly 6th chapter is taught and that is left. 6th chapter contains Tattvamasi Mahavakya Bodha. With that, in our Sandipani also only 6th chapter is taught. So rest of the chapters you are supposed to study on your own if you are interested. So first 5 chapters deal with various upasanas. We have seen Saguna Brahma Upasana. Saguna Brahma Upasana, Guna Vishishta Brahma Upasana. The Brahman with qualities, where Samagana mantras are taken up, and on that various mantras, various forms of the expression of Brahman, we have contemplated upon. Various upasanas were given in first 5 chapters of Chandogya Upanishad. Okay. Now, in this 6th chapter, we saw Tattvamasi Mahavakya. It is called, 6th chapter is named as Sadvidya. Sadvidya Upasana. Sadvidya means knowledge of Upasana, no, Sadvidya, not Upasana. It is Brahma Vidya only. Jnanam, Sadvidya is Jnanam, Sat Jnanam. In 7th chapter also, we have seen Bhuma Vidya. Bhuma, 7th chapter is called Bhuma. Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukam. So, that Bhuma Vidya we saw. Now, in the entire first to 7 chapters, if you see, we have seen 2 topics so far. What is that? First 5 chapters are Saguna Brahma Upasana, and 6th and 7th is Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, not Upasana. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, knowledge was given, not Upasana. Upasana means Guna Vishishta Brahma. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, that is Jnanam is realization. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. So, now in 8th chapter, we come across both the mixture of Saguna Brahma, Upasana and Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. Both. So we study both. Saguna Brahma Upasana was given there in this chapter, and thereafterwards Nirguna Brahma Jnanam also is given. So 8th chapter is a sort of mixture of these two. Okay. Those 8th chapter mein, this has got total 15 sections. 15 sections we have. In these 15 sections, first 6 sections deal with Saguna Brahma Upasana. Okay, Brahman with attributes. Okay. So this Saguna Brahma Upasana in the first 6 sections with Upasana and Upasana Phalam, we study both. This Upasana, particular Upasana is given, very famous Upasana. This is Upasana is called Dahara Vidya. Dahara Vidya, Dahara Upasanam. Daharopasanam, Dahara Vidya. What is Dahara? We will see later. So Dahara Vidya is given here. Vidya means here Upasana. Dahara Upasana. So therefore otherwise called as Dahara Brahma Upasana. Dahara Brahma Upasana. Okay. Now next 6 chapters, 7th to 12th. We get Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. And this is actually called as Prajapati Vidya. Prajapati Vidya, second 6 chapters. And last 3 chapters are concluding portions of the Upanishadic text. Sections are, last 3 sections. So total 15 sectors are divided into this way. So this Dahara Vidya is very important. Now, before we go into the Dahara Vidya introduction, before we study, because we study first what is Dahara Vidya as an outlay. Then we enter into mantras. But before we enter into the very outlay of Dahara Vidya, we will study Shankara Bhashya, Sambandha Bhashya of this chapter. Sambandha Bhashya means introductory portion of Shankara Bhashya for this particular chapter. Okay? This contains some kind of a revision, a thought revision of basically what is Saguna Brahma Upasana, why it is to be conducted, practiced, for whom. This is very important. Okay? So Dahara Brahma Upasana, Bhagavan starts. You have textbook with you? Yadyapi dik desha kaladi bheda shunyam brahma sat ekameva advitiyam atma eva idam sarvamiti sashta saptamayoho adhigatam tathapi iha mandabuddhinam दिग्देशादिभेदवद वस्तु विषयत्वेन विषयत वस्तु इति एवं भाविता बुद्धिः न शक्यते सहसा परमार्थ विषया कर्तुम इति अनधिगम्य च ब्रह्म न पुरुषार्थ सिद्धिः इति तद अधिगमाय हृदय पुंडरीक देश उपदेष्टव्यः. Now, यद्यपि means although Dig desha kaladi bheda shunyam Brahma. Brahma is devoid of dik, desha, kala. Dik means direction, desha is place, kala is time. Brahman is, there is no dik, desha, kala, shunyam. That is infinite Brahman. There is no gunas in that. There is no dik, there is no desha, there is no space, time, object, causation. Everything is eliminated. That Brahman. Because in Chandogya Upanishad only Bhagavan Shankaracharya mentions the natural state of Atman is without body. Unhealthy state of Atman is with body, superimposed. Sahaja sthiti is Atma has, Nirguna Atma is its Sahaja sthiti. No gunas, no dik, desha, kala. That is Brahma Vastu. That is Anantam Brahma. So therefore, although dik, desha, kala, adi bheda shunyam Brahma and Sat ekameva advitiyam, Sat is existence. Sat ekameva advitiyam, that one alone, one without the second. Existence, that is one without the second. Where we saw this Sat ekameva advitiyam Brahma? In 6th chapter, 1st section, 1st mantra. 6th chapter, 1st section, 1st mantra, we say that this is Svetaketo Ahuraneya Asa. In that mantra only, we saw Sadeva Advitiyam Brahma, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. That we saw studied in the 1st section of 6th chapter. Okay? Now, here again says, Bhagavan says, Sadekameva Advitiyam, Atma eva idam sarvam. In 7th chapter we studied. In 25th section, 2nd mantra. You see, Atma eva idam sarvam. It comes in 25th section, 2nd mantra mein. Very clearly it is said that Atma eva idagam. Athata Atma desha eva. Atma eva adhastat, Atma uparishtad, Atma paschad, Atma purastat, Atma dakshnatah, Atma uttaratah, Atma eva idam sarvamiti. We saw in the previous section this mantra. Atma is everywhere, uttaratah, dakshnatah, everywhere in all directions. It is alone, is spread everywhere, pervading. Therefore, Atma eva idam sarvam iti. So therefore, Bhagavan Shankar yaad dila rahe. One is in 6th chapter, Ekameva Sat, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, Ekameva Advitiyam, Atma eva idam sarvamiti. Thus, Atma alone is everything. Shashta Saptamayoho Adhigatam. Thus, we have studied in 6th and 7th chapters. Adhigatam, they have been studied, it has been spoken. It has been studied. In that, it has been studied, known, adhigatam, it has been known, thus. Thus means, Atma eva idam sarvam, then sadeva, sad ekameva advitiyam. Thus, it has been known in these 2 chapters, where clearly it was mentioned. Now, Sashta Saptamayo adhigatam, tathapi, although it is this, even then, although Brahman is devoid of any desha, kala, paristhiti, etc., although it is spoken as one without the second, although it is spoken that Atma alone is everywhere, it's clearly spoken in 6th and 7th chapters, even then, tathapi, iha manda buddhinam. Manda buddhinam, those who are of dull intellects. Manda buddhinam. Who are manda buddhis? We. For us, manda buddhinam. Some are manda buddhi, some are ati manda buddhi, some are ati manda buddhi. Degrees manda buddhi. Those beautiful explains Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji. Atha tathapi iha manda buddhinam digdeshadi bhedavat vastu iti evam. See, digdeshadi bhedavat vastu iti. Manda buddhi people, dull intellects people, consider, think of that reality with or having dik conditioned by dik desha vastu. Meaning what? Therefore, anything is Saguna Upasana only. Those religions who give value to direction is also Saguna only. They are not Nirgunas. Some people say, इस दिशा में मोड़कर प्रार्थना करो. They are conditioned by that. Without that direction, they cannot contemplate on Brahman. Why Manda Buddhi? They think in this east or north or some are west oriented. Manda Buddhi Nam. So therefore they think the Brahman, the reality is associated with Dik, Desha, Vastu iti. Dig Vastu iti evam. Iti bhavita. They imagine. Because they cannot contemplate, they cannot conceive of Brahman who is attributeless. Therefore, it is a limitation in the intellect. It is a limitation in the intellect. We are not great seekers or sadhakas. Manda buddhinam digdeshadi bhedavat vastu iti evam bhavita buddhihi. Thus, intellect which thinks like this, which is conditioned like this. There are so many siddhantas, no? भगवान का रूप होता है, भगवान का कोई शाश्वत रूप होता है, भगवान का ये गुण है, अनंत गुण गण कल्याण गुण रामा. भगवान एक गुण है, गुण सहित निर्गुण गुण. Some people say भगवान गुण सहित, but there is no form. Arupam, but guna sahit hai. Somebody says guna and rupa. So therefore, here bhavita buddhihi na shakyate. It is not possible for such an intellect. Na shakyate, kim na shakyate? Sahasa, at once, paramartha vishaya kartrum. बुद्धि को परमात्मा विषयक बनाना. Buddhi turn toward that intellect, making that intellect eligible, capable of at once turning towards the Paramatma of who is devoid of any qualities. Sahasa, to turn the intellect towards that Supreme Brahman, instantly, immediately, at once. Sahasa, Paramartha Vishaya Kartum na shakyate. It's not possible. Why? Our mind is full of thoughts, vasanas, desires, worries, anxieties, concepts, fears, insecurities. All these we are holding on. Identification with the body. We are unable to drop all this and recognize that Brahman. Therefore, sahasa na shakyate paramartha vishaya kartum. Moreover, iti kartum iti. Kartrum iti. Kartum iti. Next, anadigamya cha brahma na purushartha siddhi iti. Moreover, without realizing the Brahman, there is no attainment, fulfillment in one's own efforts. Purushartha siddhi is not possible without realizing the Brahman. Ultimately, when is that when we fulfill ourselves actually in all our efforts? When is that fulfillment? There is no fulfillment in life. Because whatever Purushartha we are doing, there is no fulfillment. घर बनाओ, नो फुलफिलमेंट, शादी करो, नो फुलफिलमेंट, बच्चे हुए, नो फुलफिलमेंट, उनके भी शादी कराया, बच्चे, नो फुलफिलमेंट, कुछ ज्ञान प्राप्त किया, किताब पढ़े, नो फुलफिलमेंट, घूमे, तीर्थ यात्रा किए, नो फुलफिलमेंट, खूब पार्टीज अटेंड करते हैं, नो फुलफिलमेंट। पर तृप्ति तो मिलती नहीं ना। सो पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि कुत्रास्ति इज द प्रश्न। वेयर इज द फुलफिलमेंट ऑफ वन्स ओन एफर्ट्स? Because all our purusharthas are only temporary. You do something, then immediately the phalam dies away in time. The fruit, what you acquire out of your self-effort, dies in time. Then again you are back to square one. Therefore, anadigamya cha brahmana purushartha siddhi. Without attaining Brahman, fulfillment, there is no siddhi, attainment, fulfillment in purushartha, self-efforts. Okay. Tad adhigamaya hridaya pundareka desha upadeshtavyaha. Therefore, manda buddhis cannot contemplate on Nirguna Brahman, cannot have the jnanam of Nirguna Brahma. Moreover, there is no fulfillment in Purushartha, self-effort, unless one realizes Brahman. See the contradictory. Dull intellect cannot directly perceive Brahman. And okay, can you live Brahman? There is no fulfillment without realizing Brahman. So I cannot. The tragedy is what? Tragedy is I cannot contemplate on Brahman. Moreover, there is no fulfillment without realizing Brahman. Very simple. Without realizing Brahman, there is no fulfillment. And I cannot contemplate on Brahman. Now what is this now? I am in a fix. वो करे बिना तृप्ति नहीं मिलती है, वो कर नहीं पाता हूं। ऐसे लोगों को, for such kind of people, hridaya pundarika desha upadeshtavyaha. Then it is taught the heart space, the space within the cavity of the heart, upasana there is taught, upadeshtavyaha, which is to be taught. For them, it is to be taught, it is to be instructed. How to meditate on the cavity of the heart. That is a drishti. This is to be done. Yadyapi sat samyak pratyayika vishayam, even though it is the object of fullest knowledge only, Yadyapi, even though Sat, existence, knowledge, Sat Samyak Pratyayika Vishayam. What is that existence? It is the object of fullest knowledge. Samyak Jnana Vishayam. Samyak Pratyaya, Samyak knowledge, Samyak knowledge, fullest knowledge only. It is the object of knowledge. Which knowledge? Samyak Jnanam. Samyak Jnana Vishayam Sat. It is the object of full knowledge. When you know the full knowledge of Brahman, then the Sat is realized. Right? Suppose you want to know a particular object, you must have knowledge of the object to know what the object is. But the object is limited, so our knowledge also is limited. Think. But here the object is what? Ananta Vastu, Brahma Tattvam, Nirguna, Nirakara, Sarva Vyapaka Brahmamayam. Unconditioned, pure, eternal. nama rupa guna dosha varjitam. So that Brahman is the object of what? Samyak Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. Therefore, Sat Samyak Pratyayika Vishayam. And what is that Atma Tattvam? Nirgunam cha Atma Tattvam. Atma Tattvam, the nature of self, is Nirgunam. There is no Gunam. Nirgunam. Arupam. Nirgunam cha Atma Tattvam. Tathapi Mandabuddhinam. Even then, for मंद बुद्धि, बार बार मंद बुद्धि कह रहे हैं हम सबको, हम है ही. It's not easy to know that. It's a very deep, subtle withdrawal is required, focus is required, tremendous sadhana is required. But our vasana, Vishaya vasanas are plenty. We have vasanas of the world are plenty. Plenty of vasanas, full loaded sacks of bags of vasanas. Therefore, nirgmana yadyapi sat samyak pratyayeka vishayam nirgunam cha atma tattvam. Atma tattva is nirgunam. Tathapi manda buddhinam gunavatvasya ishtatvat. But even though the nature of self is nirgunam, without any qualities, but for manda buddhi, they like the self to be with qualities. Dull intellects insist that the God should be associated with form, some qualities, guna, Rupa, Vishishta, something should be there. Because intellect cannot contemplate. Klesho dhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkham dehavadbhiravapyate. Because we cannot contemplate on Nirguna Brahman. Because to contemplate Manda Buddhis we cannot a pure existence I am and meditate on that existence. I am there, that's it. I cannot contemplate. When I say contemplate, I must have something, a form, a guna, a quality in front of my mind as an object of contemplation. देखो. So I cannot contemplate on my nature. When you say my nature, I am contemplating on existence, I cannot. Immediately, I want to objectify that Brahman in the form of a form or a quality or a guna, etc. Guna means guna quality, guna visishta, rupa visishta. Think. So, whenever you want to meditate, immediately rupa will come, guna will come, some qualities will come. Think. But the moment you are, how can you contemplate on infinity by making it finite? By contemplating. So, gunavatva vishtatvat, they like it. Manda buddhis, like dull intellects, like they love it. Which, what is it they love? They love contemplating with gunas. They love the form. माफी मांगता हूँ. They love अलंकार. भगवान कितना सुंदर है. भाई इन अद्वैत में सबको ये सब सुनना पड़ता है। भगवान का रूप कितना अच्छा है, गुण कितने अच्छे गुण हैं, सर्वव्यापक है, भगवान हर जगह है, हर रूप में बैठा है, वायु के रूप में बैठा है, अग्नि के रूप में बैठा है, He is in the form of fire, in the form of wind. So the moment when we say we have to contemplate, we like to contemplate on Brahman with qualities. Ishtatvat. Gunavatva ishtatvat. Nirgunam cha atmatattvam tathapi mandabuddhinam gunavatvasya ishtatvat satyakamadi gunatvancha vaktavyam. Because they like these gunas, so now you have a desire. Your desires are what? Your desires may fulfill, maybe not fulfilled, and after fulfilling desire, you will get another desire. You are not fulfilling, and most of desires are not fulfilled. But Bhagavan, we praise Bhagavan as Satyakamaha. The moment we say Satyakama, we pray to Satyakama. Why? Bhagavan is Satyakama, one whose desires are always fulfilled. Satya Sankalpaha, Satyakamaha, Satya Sankalpaha. We call Brahman as Ishvara, Maya Upadvisishta Chaitanyam, Saguna Ishvaraha, Ishvaraha, Satyakamaha. He is Satyakami. One whose sankalpas are always fulfilled, one whose desires are fulfilled, one who has created Srishti, one who is the creator of the Jagat, one who is sustaining the Jagat, one who withdraws himself, everything unto him, that kind of a Brahman, ityadi, gunayukta, ityadi, etc., etc., we associate the qualities of that Ishvara. So those qualities are to be told, are to be necessarily we have to speak. It is necessary to speak of those qualities for whom? For dull intellects, to facilitate them to contemplate on Brahman with attributes. Why we should facilitate such kind of a thought to be given? Teach that Ishvara is Satyakama, Satya Sankalpa, etc. to contemplate. Why? Because I am a dull intellect. So this is Shankara Bhashya, Upanishad Bhashya has to be studied. पर एक पद पढ़ने टाइम नहीं मिलता, इसीलिए वी आर एसेंस ओनली वी आर सीइंग. जस्ट इंट्रोडक्शन वी विल सी टुडे. सो गुणवत्वस्य विष्टत्वात् सत्यकामादि गुणवत्वं च वक्तव्यम. Therefore they are to be, it is necessary to speak of such qualities of Ishvara, of Brahman, Saguna Brahma, to facilitate the process of meditation for the dull intellects. Essentially is what? Atma is nirgunam cha atma tattvam api. Even though atma tattvam is nirgunam, it has to be told. Tatha, also, yadyapi, one more thing, also, because not only upasana, see, very important thing is what? Not only upasana, something else also is to be practiced, to be given to them. What is that? Tatha, also, and also yadyapi, even though Brahmavidam Stri Adi Vishayebhyaha Swayam Eva Uparamo Bhavati, and even though Brahmavidam means not the realized masters here. Once who realize there is no, they have transcended all. But Brahmavidam, knowers of Brahman, they are very advanced seekers, those who have gained knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Upasakas, those who Brahma Upasakas, Stri Adi Vishayebhyaha, they have naturally withdrawn from women, etc., objects of the world outside. They are no more fascinated by opposite sex. They are no more fascinated by various comforts in the world. They are no more fascinated by travel. They are no more fascinated by certain experiences, certain enjoyments, eating, seeing, movies, first day, first show. They are no more fascinated by the external world. Right from Stri Adi, from women onwards. Swayameva paramo bhavati. They are withdrawn by themselves naturally, even though they are, because of their knowledge of Brahma, they are upasakas, they have withdrawn from all these objects of the world outside, even though they are withdrawn, tathapi aneka janma vishaya sevabhyasa janita. Even though their natural inclination is not there to be drawn towards the external objects, but aneka janma vasanas are hidden inside. Abhyasa. And every janma we have been repeatedly practicing sensual pleasures, enjoyment, engagement, involvement in sensual pleasures. Any pleasure. What is that we are actually living? We are entertaining and enjoying, entertaining and providing all kinds of joys of the world outside to the indriyas is the autobiography of an average individual. Right from birth to death, we are only entertaining, giving all types of enjoyments to the senses, providing one after one various objects of sense enjoyments is the only occupation of an individual. Think. Everywhere, every day. Every day. Sense organs are there. Every day we are actually providing Vishaya Vastus to the objects to make sense organs happy. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Pleasant voice, pleasant sound, pleasant touch. Huh?
This is called Annam.
Yeah?
This is called Annam. And Annam includes everything.
Yeah. Continuously feeding sense organs. And this has become abhyasa. This has become a habit for us. Practicing we are doing. How? Aneka janma abhyasa. Aneka janma vishaya seva. See, vishaya seva, serving the objects, objects ko, pampering objects, sense of providing objects to sense organs. This is the only practice we have been doing till we die. जरा सोचो सुबह से शाम तक क्या करते हैं. Every work what we do to tushti, pushti to sense organs. Nourishing the sense organs for enjoyment and giving them contentment to sense organs. ये सब्जी बनाए, वो खाओ, उसमें ये डाला, वो खाओ, बहुत मज़ा आया, ये सुन लिया, वहाँ गया, वो देखा, इसका स्पर्श किया, उस चीज़ का स्पर्श किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत घूमा, बहुत मिला, इनसे मिला, बहुत अच्छा लगा. What we are doing? What we are doing? See, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, तथापि अनेक जन्म विषय सेवा अभ्यास जनित विषय विषया तृष्णा, the thirst to enjoy the objects of the world outside is hidden, even though you are a Brahma Upasaka. Even though you are naturally withdrawn from the Stri Adi Vishaya objects, sense organs, sense objects, you are withdrawn, but there is a scope for fall at any time. Therefore, Vishaya Vishaya Trishna na sahasa nivartayutam shakyate iti. Therefore, it is not possible to withdraw at once from all these temptations of the worldly objects, even though there is no natural inclination, even though, like for example, even though one may not be very fond of a sabji, but बार खिलाया जाए, then he start consciously reveling it, he starts enjoying it because purva vasana comes out. एक महात्मा जी is no more, गृहस्थ was great महात्मा, पहुंचा हुआ आदमी है. कभी कभी he is no more, so he would call sometimes and he would deliberately tell me what all the items he cooked in his house in that day. Then I tell him, don't tempt me. So being an Andhraite, he used to tell me all Andhra special dishes what they are cooked today, which you will never get in North India. तो मैं हंसता था, वो भी हंसते थे. मैं बताओ वेणु यार क्या बनाया घर पे. इज ग्रेट महात्मा, बहुत पंचो आदमी है. मैं ऐसे डोंट टेम्प्ट मी महाराज, डोंट टेल मी ऑल दोस आइटम्स नाउ. The रूप, रंग, smell, everything will come in front of me. Then you are unnecessarily tempting. So you would laugh. Like a small test. Meanwhile, pura vasana will come out. Think, like South Indian is roaming in North India, suddenly he got some South Indian dish, or North Indian roaming in South India, suddenly he came across North India dish. क्या होता है दिल में, एक बार कूद पड़ता है. Why? It is vasana is still there. Naturally it is not there, but provided, you are attracted. Something is provided to you, you may be attracted to it. देखो, विषय विषय तृष्णा न सहसा. This thirst for sense objects न सहसा निवर्तयितुम शक्यते इति. Therefore, it is not possible to at once withdraw. Therefore, even Brahmopasaka, but these problems are there. Even though the natural inclination is not there, withdrawn, but there are vasanas any time can come up and destroy him. Brahmacharyadi sadhana vishesho vidhatavyaha. Therefore, brahmacharya, etc., these sadhanas are to be enjoined. Strict rules are given. Brahmacharyam. Be away from opposite sex. Maintain solitude. Take sattvic ahar. Don't eat such food which triggers the process of desires in you. All these rules and regulations are given to protect your mind from your mind. Not from outside, because mind alone is tempting. Therefore, brahmacharya sadhana visheshaha, exclusive brahmacharya sadhana has to be enjoined. Tatha yadyapi atmaikatva vidam gantrugamana gantavya abhavat avidyadi sheshastiti nimittakshaye gaganaiva vidyududbhutaiva vajurdagdhendanaiva agni swatmaniyeva nivurtihi तथापि गंतृगमनादिवासित बुद्धीनां हृदयशेष गुण विशिष्ट ब्रह्मोपासकानां मूर्धन्ययानाढ्या गतिर्वक्तव्य इति इष्ट अष्टमः प्रपाठकः आरभ्यते. Now let us see one by one. So, Trushnana Sahasa Nivartayatum Shakyate iti Brahmacharyadi Sadhana Vishesho Vidhatavyaha. Tatha also, Yadyapi, although, and although, Atma Ekatvavidam, those who realized the oneness of Atman in themselves. Atma Ekatvavidam, for them, Gantru Gamana Gantavya Abhavat. There is, once you realize the truth, there is no Gamana, going to somewhere, Loka, goer, going, traveler, traveling, and destination. These are never exist. For whom? Those who have realized, I am Brahman. When I am Brahman, when I am all-pervading reality, I don't exist as a separate tukda. I am totality. When I am that Brahman, where will I go? Where will I move? What is my destination? There cannot be any destination because I am all-pervading. There cannot be any traveler because I am Brahman. Therefore, there is no question of traveling. There is no traveler. There is no destination. So then what happens? Brahmajnani just he dissolves. His body falls off. He is already all-pervading Brahman. Just body falls off. There is no gati after death. There is no movement. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't exist. When I say he doesn't go anywhere, don't imagine a shape and size and he is all-pervading. He becomes just self everywhere. Think. Then there is no gati. So, even though, again see, he is comparing. Mandabuddhi is, even though Brahmajnanis are of that, Mandabuddhi wanted some contemplation, object of contemplation. Like another thing, even though Mandabuddhis, Tatha Yadyapi Atma Ekatva Vidam Gantru Gamana Gantavya Bhavat, for those who have realized that self, this absence of traveling, traveler, destination doesn't exist. You are all pervading Brahman, full stop. This subtle body dissolved, Chidabhasa merged because subtle body doesn't exist. Chidabhasa dissolved, Sharira, Stula Sharira falls off. And what happened to Atman? Atman is everywhere. Gatavachinna Akashaha, then the space within the pot. When the pot is broken, there is no question of the pot space moving somewhere and merging in some other space. Space which was one before realized that I am one with the space. There is nothing. There is no trace of recognition. Therefore, even though it is like that, avidyadi sheshastiti nimittakshaye. Avidyadi sheshastiti nimittakshaye. Sheshastiti means sharira, body. See, the cause for the body, etc., the cause for the continuity of, listen very dhyan se suniye, please. Causes for the continuity of the existence of the effects of ignorance are dissolved when ignorance is destroyed. Avidyadi shesha nimitte kshaye. Shesha nimitta, shesha sthiti nimitta. What is avidya? Is a nimitta. What is the nimitta? Cause. Sheshastita nimitta means body it is the cause for the continuity of the body, all those things. Why this body is remembered? Because of avidya. So the cause for the sustenance of the body, etc., the cause which is avidya, when it is dissolved, nimitta kshaye. What is the nimittam for avidya? Avidya is a nimittam. Avidya is a cause. When that cause, that is avidya, which is resulting in the sustenance of the body, etc., is dissolved, avidyadi sheshasthiti nimitta kshaye, then what happens? Gagana iva. Beautiful thing. Vidyudbhuta iva. Like a space. Vidyudbhuta iva means vidyut. Suddenly lightning is born. And lightning is born in the space and merges into space. Vidyudbhuta iva. Vayur dagdhain vayuhu iva. Again, wind. Heavy winds are created in space and the winds again merge in space. Dagdhendana iva agnihi. Dagdhendava agnihi. Like the fire the fuel which is completely burnt off. The fire. They merge back to their sources. Dagdhendana iva agnihi swatmani eva nivrittihi. Like a space with the vidyut lightning merges in space. Vayu which is born in the winds are created in space, merges back into space. The fuel, the burning fire, afterwards it just goes back to its own source. Similarly, swatmani eva nivrittihi. There is no question of you dissolve that ego. See what happens. Who is a jiva? Jiva is kutastha chaitanyam, that is Brahma, reflected in upadhi, chidabhasa, sukshma shariram, then sthula shariram. Now, when the sukshma shariram itself is dissolved, where is chidabhasa? There cannot be any chidabhasa. Then what remains is pure Brahman, all-pervading Brahman. That Brahman cannot move because there is nothing, there is no upadhi, there is no limitation, there is all-pervading reality. So, swatmani eva sthitihi, nivrittihi. Even though for the great realized people, where there is absence of traveler, destination, traveling, when the causes of the sustenance of body, etc., such as avidya, is dissolved, even though Atman doesn't move, it becomes dissolved in its own self, then the pure Brahman alone remains, even though this is the truth, pramanda buddhinam, but nivritti tatapi gantru gamanadi vasita buddhinam, whose buddhi is conditioned by vasana. What is vasana in the buddhi? Those people whose buddhi is conditioned by thinking of movement, destination and the mover, traveler, traveling and destination. So imagine when I say your death, immediately imagine something will come out of body, you will exist, you will travel. See how we are conditioned buddhi. So our buddhi is conceptualized, conditioned by a thought that I leave the body, I continue to exist in subtle body. That is conditioned. So I have a gati, I have a loka to go, I have punya and papa to bhog, to exhaust, I will travel, I will come back again. Somebody wrote a Shishya to Guru, Guruji, every Janma I will be at your feet. Then Guru replied, but I am not taking Janma. You will be there at my feet every time. But I am not planning to take another Janma. What will you do? So, Janma, Gati, Loka, Lokantara Gati, फिर पति पत्नी बनेंगे अगले जन्म में, या तू मेरे पुत्र बनकर बेटा आ जाओ, मैं तुम्हारे गोद में फिर जन्म लूँगा, ये सब बकवास है. दिस इज कॉल्ड इज कंडीशनड, poor, dull, fallen, ignorant, roasted in the ignorance, completely drowned in the ignorance. Ignorance में fried and became baturas. All of us, baturas. With these thoughts we live in life. So Vacharya, such kind of people who entertain these thoughts, मैं मर के कहीं जाऊंगा, फिर जन्म लूंगा, उससे मिलूंगा, इनसे मिलूंगा, this kind of that thought itself is horrible thought. Because we are not able to free yourself from the thought of that conditioning. I go somewhere, I come I maintain my individuality. Bhagavan says, Gandru Gamanadi Vasita Buddhi Nam, those unko vasana lag gaye. Vasana means this thought completely wedded to them, that there will be a moment, there will be life after death, there will be loka, I have to go there, come back, etc. Buddhi Nam, Hridaya Desha Guna Vishishta Brahma Upasakanam. And because of this thought, they have purified thought they have. They are seekers. So what that their thought? I will go to Brahma Loka. I will go and enjoy all lokas. I will travel in space. I will get great siddhis. I become something special in the universe, something special in the cosmos. These are the thoughts and background thoughts. And those thoughts are conditioning. So therefore, for such people, those who have this kind of thoughts about reality, that they have to go somewhere to Brahmaloka or Vaikuntha Loka or Kailasha, such people, Hridaya Desha Guna Vishishta Brahma Upasakanam, and those who contemplate on the cavity of the space within the heart, considering that cavity, the space within the cavity of the heart as Brahma, those who are contemplating on them, that is what they are Saguna Brahma Upasakas. Those who are Saguna Brahma Upasakas, Murdhanya Nadya Gatihi Vaktavya Isht. They are, for them, you have to speak about Gati. Because Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati. You are considering yourself as an entity. You wanted to contemplate on Brahman, leave the body through Nadi, Murdhanya, through cranium, Brahmarandra, and go to Urdhaloka. इससे बताने वाले गली गली मिलते हैं आपको यहाँ पे देश में. Through cranium you release and then go to Brahmaloka. Those who are taught, those who believe, those who accept Manda Buddhis of this concept of truth and realization, which is nonsense, but they believe in that. And for that they contemplate on the cavity of space within the heart, सगुण ब्रह्म उपासना करने वालों को, those who believe in this मूर्धनि, that is cranium, exit from the cranium, from the Brahmarandra, then going to other lokas, those who believe in this, for them, Murdhanya Nadi Gati has to be told. Okay, for them there is a Gati. But you want Gati, then okay, you go with Upadhi. You want to go, that is what your understanding of truth. Then for them, उनके लिए भी बोलना पड़ेगा, because Shastra is what? Shastra is such a compassionate mother. She delivers everything, whatever you want, she provides. So for them, the Gati has to be told. You will go to this loka, that loka, whatever your wishes. There will come all those things in this chapter. जिसको वो चाहिए वो मिल जाएगा, जिसको वो चाहिए वो मिल जाएगा. You like that portion, not even, you don't like this introduction. The introduction डांट पड़ रहा है सबको. So we don't want that introduction. We want only मूर्धनि, मर जाओ, दूसरे लोक में जाओ, अच्छा लगता है तब portion. Then you like that Upanishad portion. All nonsense करके बोलता रहे सब. For those people who believe in this, the Gati has to be told. There is a destination, there is a yatra, there is a yatri. Therefore, Ashtama Prapataka Arabhyate. Therefore, the 8th chapter is started. For them. What is that? Saguna Brahma Upasana. Dahara Brahma Upasana. Those who cannot contemplate on Brahman directly, for them, some kind of support is given. Digdesha Guna Gati Phala Bheda Shunyam Hi Paramartha Sad Advayam Brahma Mandan Na. What? 1 second. Mandabuddhinam Asadiva Pratibhati Sanmargasthaha Tavad Bhavantu Tatah Shanaihi Paramartha Sadapi Graha Ishyameti Manyate Srutihi. This portion we will take tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.